College basketball season wrapping up. People across the country, of course, are gearing up for one of the most exciting times of year, March Madness. However, it can be also a really dangerous time for people who struggle with gambling addictions. KTIV's Nick Reese tells us more.
Every March, millions of Americans look forward to the madness of the NCAA basketball playoffs. With multiple games being played almost every day over a 3-week period, it's a basketball lover's dream. However, for those struggling with gambling addictions, that dream can quickly turn into a nightmare.
The number of games is just insane compared to what's normally going on. There's 67 games in March Madness, and with the way that online betting is structured, you can bet during the game, you can bet on the outcome of the game itself. There's so many different levels, and when you extend it out over this 3-week period with 67 games, it's just a lot of information and a lot to take in for people who struggle with gambling addictions.
86% of Americans have gambled in their lifetimes, with 60% having done so in just the last year. However, only a small percentage of Americans actually develop gambling problems. About 1% of Americans are classified as problem gamblers, with 2 to 3% being considered at risk or having a mild addiction. While the percentage is small, the cost isn't. Problem gambling accounts for over $7 billion a year in social costs. And with sports betting currently legal in 33 states, accessibility is only going up.
People have this sort of false thinking that gambling addictions are less severe than, say, a substance use addiction. Both of these have very serious consequences. They might look a little bit different, but nonetheless, in fact, problem gamblers attempt suicide at a rate of 17%, so almost 1 in 5 people.
Some signs Ross says indicate a gambling addiction include becoming irritable or restless when going periods without gambling, hiding your gambling from others, betting more than you can afford, and asking others for financial assistance to cover gambling or other debts. He also offered some tips for anyone interested in gambling responsibly.
To keep one from developing a gambling problem, setting low-risk guidelines, like restricting your access to your credit cards, or setting a specific time limit that you can spend on these apps, or the amount of money that you plan to spend on these apps.
While betting on sports doesn't automatically indicate a problem, following these tips can help make sure you avoid one. In Sioux City, Nick Reese, KTIV News 4.
If you or someone you know is struggling with a gambling addiction, you can reach out to the Rosencrantz Jackson Center for help and more resources. While